Guys, ChaseWins.com coming to you for Friday, December the 27th. Just a few days left before we're into a new year. Today we are back to normal hours after taking a few days away from, I say a few days off. We didn't really have days off other than Christmas Eve where we did not play anything. Obviously, we played stuff yesterday, but we did not go live or do a free play or anything. So we got to take about a half day off. Today we're back to normal schedule. Really, right now, all I have is a handful of games left to go over and finish breaking down before I put all my selections out for the day. We are laying off in the North Carolina game. Obviously, that game just started behind me. So we're not going to be having a play in that. We will have plays in NBA, college football. Don't know about college basketball. There's one game that somewhat interests me, but I don't know that it'll make the cut, and then we will have some NHL action. Tomorrow's the big day, college football playoffs. If you have not watched the bowl or the college football playoff breakdown live show that we did on Monday, take the time between now and tomorrow morning, go back and watch it. I am probably going to be putting out my predictions late tonight. We are probably going to have one, if not two, very big step out games of the week, game of the month type plays for this weekend. I'm trying to wait before I post them to see if they both come through, because if they do, I'm going to do like a combo pass where you can get both of them and you'll get a discount within that. But we are going to be going live here just after 1 p.m. Eastern time. We'll go live for about an hour. We'll discuss some questions that maybe people had about the college football playoff prediction that have watched the video but did not get to tune into it live. We'll talk about some upcoming things in college basketball since we've had a few days off from that. And then we'll just do a normal, about an hour-long live show. And, we'll go from there. Give out a couple of free plays. We'll get you on a free play today. Let's get you on a recap from yesterday. Had 4 plays, all in the NBA. Went 2-2. Brooklyn was the team that was the big disappointment from last night. They went in not overwhelmingly big favorites over the New York Knicks, but, favorites nonetheless. Everybody talks about, you bet them without Kyrie. Listen, it's been proven that they play better as a team without Kyrie. Now, don't get me wrong. Is Kyrie a good player? Yes. Does Kyrie make a difference a lot of nights? Yes. But we all know good and well going up against a team like the Knicks, a team like the Hawks, a team that are fast-paced. Like, nobody wants to give the Knicks credit because right now they're still not a good team. But let me tell you what they are. And I was telling a customer of mine about this yesterday because he was like, wow, they're shooting, 20% from the floor or something like that, and they're doing it against the Knicks. And I told him, I said, I believe that was their game plan because Brooklyn is not an overly fast team, but the Knicks are. Problem is, Knicks can run up and down the floor with anybody. A lot of times they just can't execute their shots. They give up a lot of turnovers, and that's why you see them lose games the way they do. But if they're on, they're on, and usually 7 out of 10 games, they're the faster team on the floor. Case in point last night with Brooklyn. And if you had Kyrie in the game, Kyrie would have taken 40% of the shots by himself. And so we would have had a situation where either Kyrie needs to be on fire because if he's cold, they're going to lose. And that's the way that it happens. The team passes the ball better. The team gels better together. The team executes offensively and defensively better when Kyrie is not on the floor. It's a proven fact. And they keep bringing up KD. And in my opinion, when KD's 100% healthy, he's the best overall player in the league right now. Obviously you throw LeBron into the mix and all that stuff, but truth be told, if you talk about every position that Kevin Durant can play and play well versus a LeBron or an AD or somebody like that, I think when 100% healthy, and probably for the past 5 years, Kevin Durant has been the best all-around player in the game. And do I think he'll be a difference maker? Yes, I think he's a difference maker wherever he goes, but we can't say he's a difference maker for Brooklyn because it hasn't been seen yet. We'll just have to wait and see. So they got beat yesterday pretty handily by the Knicks. Could not execute their game plan. They executed their game plan well. They couldn't back it up with good shooting and executing down low. So they did not get enough second chance shots, which they should have against the Knicks. OKC yesterday dropped late, which that wasn't the biggest surprise. But OKC, in my opinion, They played very lackluster. They played very nonchalant, almost like they didn't care. Like maybe they were trying to preserve some energy for the game tonight against Charlotte, which I think last night's game was a lot more detrimental to, I guess, the season overall than playing against someone like Charlotte. But then we also had Detroit and the over in the Detroit game. Both of those cashed easily. So we went 2-2, but we did lose a little bit of money. So a rare losing day. But, hey, no big deal. We finished out the week before our break extremely strong, so we'll get back into it. So today, as far as, like, promotions and things like that we've got going on, don't have anything extremely big. We're going to be doing some announcements about some longer-term stuff that I'm going to offer from now until New Year's Day on the live show, so tune into that. There's still a couple of discounts posted on the website that you can go see. If you would like to, just as like a post-Christmas something, if you would like to purchase a 3-day pass, 1 week pass, something like that, I'll give you an extra day. So you can get that. But make sure that you do get it today. As far as, let's see. Sorry about that. But as far as a free play, we're going to be giving out some on the live show. But as far as this one, the official free play that we'll do for the video, we're going to go to the back to the NBA. We're going to go to the early game, Boston-Cleveland. Cleveland's a bad team, let's face it. They're not a good team. Boston is a good team. They are a contender in the East. Do I think they're the best team in the East? No. But defensively, I think they're up there. Problem is, offensively, I don't think they are. They are a slower-paced team when needing to be. The problem with them being slower-paced is they're a very good transitional team that can speed it up when they need to. The problem is if they have to speed it up, they can't slow it back down in the same game. So if they make an adjustment, that adjustment's going to have to stick for the rest of the game. Case in point with Cleveland, they're not a fast-paced team. They're not an actual slow-paced team on paper. The problem is the only way Cleveland has fighting chances when they're in games is to play slower, try to control the pace, and, of course, they have to have shots fall for them. In this particular game where I don't think Boston's going to come into this game exerting every bit of dominance they could have over Cleveland, I think they're going to try to play it just a little bit more mildly. That's going to give Cleveland a chance to slow it down, try to score some smart shots underneath, where, truth be told, size-wise, they can match up with Boston. Talent-wise, they can't. But if that happens, then what's Boston going to do? They're going to take it from somewhat of a slow pace to begin with to an even slower pace. This is going to become more of a defensive battle on the side of Boston. Boston's not going to force shots. They're going to go inside more than outside. They're going to cause turnovers. We're going to see a lot of burn-up clock. And truth be told, I think the line opened up at 216 fairly accurate. We're sitting at 217 now. But I've got to go with the way I've seen these two teams kind of play each other in the past year. And in the past year, unless Cleveland's just flat out on fire, this is usually a slower pace game. Boston comes in controlling it somewhat. Second half, they control pretty much all of it. They kind of set the tempo for how many points are going to be scored. And we know Boston's not a high-scoring team by general standards in this day and age, certainly like our powerhouse offenses. So I have to go with the obvious. I have to go with what I see over and over again. And every once in a while you have, the latter. The opposite happens. Very well could happen today. But I can't go off of that thing that happens once every 5 games and place my hard-earned money on it. I've got to go with what the most likely scenario is. And it's a game and a clock controlled by Boston, a tempo controlled by Boston. I see Boston minus 13.5. I don't hate it. But I think the stronger of the two plays within this game would be to go under 217 in a game where if history continues to repeat itself, which obviously it does more times than not in the NBA, we're looking at a game that falls around 211, somewhere between 211 and 214. So I lean Boston minus 13.5, but right now it's a little bit chalky being that, they just played 2 days ago. That's not a big factor, but you know what? They also played a lot faster pace and a lot higher tempo than what Boston normally plays. That'll play a little bit of a factor, kind of offset with the fact that they are in the Garden, and I don't think Cleveland stands a chance to actually win the game. But again, when you talk about controlling the tempo of a game, bringing the pace down, covering a double-digit spread in the NBA is no small feat by any means. Covering 13.5 when we're talking about a somewhat low total as it is per NBA standard, I would have to say that minus 13.5 by Boston would be a glorified lean at absolute best. Your official free play is going to be under 217. I do see a couple of 217.5s out there, so if you can get that, great. I bet it at 217. That's what I'm going to put out as a free play. So Cleveland and Boston, 4:05 Eastern time in the Garden. Celtics, Cavaliers under 217. That's your free play. Go get it. We'll be live in a few minutes. Hope to see you there. See you guys.